Boy, oh boy, don't we have a banger of a chapter! One Piece 1040 finalized the battle between Kid and Law vs Big Mom. And what do we know? Big Mom is defeated, ushering in the new era of emperors, with Luffy, Kid and Law being on top. But that's not the highlight for today's video. Rather, Oda has finally revealed more information about the Void Century and Joyboy. To make things even more exciting, this revelation aligns with our deep theory of the Judas and the family of D. So in today's video, alongside breaking down chapter 1040, I'm going to explain that theory, along with breaking down why those with the D are so important within the One Piece story. Welcome back everyone, it's time to go deep. Right off the bat, chapter 1040 starts with the continuation of the fight from the last chapter, where Kid used this damned punk Railgun to, pretty much rail in Big Mom. That sounded so wrong. Anyways, in the last chapter, I explained that this weapon is based on an actual military grade electromagnetic railgun, which has the power to shoot high velocity projectiles that can destroy land, sea and air purely from its kinetic energy. Kid only is able to make this railgun because of his awakening and by assigning other objects the property of magnetism. Both Law's and Kid's awakening has completely changed the game. Big Mom, who is a much more experienced fighter and of course had a devil fruit longer than the two, is being challenged by the new generation. This even plays back to Luffy's fight with Kaido. Luffy told Momonosuke that he will defeat Kaido even after being put down twice. Apart from the use of his Conqueror's Haki, which Kaido already possessed for some time, Luffy likely has a plan to win. Either he thought of a new subset to Gear 4th, maybe even Tiger Man, as we suggested on our Luffy Gear 5th video with Grand Line review. Like, there's so many reasons why Tiger Man form would make sense, though mainly the symbolic meanings, where in Chinese philosophy, primarily Buddhism, the tiger and the dragon both represent symbol of power, representing the yin and yang. Ultimately, the notion of tiger vs dragon was confounded in many years of ancient folklore, so I was hoping Oda might delve into that because, you know, it's Oda we're talking about. But if Luffy won't have another subset of Gear 4th, there could be a completely different gear altogether, being Gear 5th. And then of course there is Luffy's awakening. However, I feel like it may be too soon for Luffy's awakening, but again, knowing Oda, it's possible. But coming back to this earth-shaking battle, even with Kid's broken ass weapon, we see how after all the consecutive attacks that has been thrown at Big Mom, she still is able to withstand Kid's railgun. Take in mind that railgun's projectiles are capable of reaching speeds up to Mach 7, which is 7 times the speed of sound. Everyone is shocked to see how Big Mom, after all of this, is able to keep on fighting. It's during this that Big Mom uses her soul focus and gives them a deal. Either they give her 50 years of their lifespan, or they serve her as a slave for eternity. Big Mom literally does not discriminate on this demand, as everyone who's nearby loses their soul. In fear, Law and Kid's crew are telling their captains that they have to get out of there. However, even in the presence of a Yonko, Law's and Kid's soul does not waver. Kid states, "The last gasp of an old windbag don't scare me." Meanwhile, Law starts complaining about Big Mom's death screeches is hurting his ears. Everyone around is in disbelief as to why Kid and Law aren't afraid of Big Mom, who's a Yonko. It's because these freaking new generations are on another level, and if I have to say, they are Yonko level too. For real guys, soul focus is rendered useless if the targeted soul is fearless, which in this case applies. Law, to add to all of this madness, reveals his new move. Anyways, Law's new technique that he reveals is called RR Room Silent, where he can place a bubble of silence to prevent Big Mom from talking, which is a homage, as he states, to the man who saved his life. Law using this technique to put an end to a Yonko is like him taking his final steps to fulfilling this dream of Corazon and himself. But wipe off your tears guys, as Law and Kid aren't done yet. Misery tries to sneak behind Law and kill him, but instantly he slashes it in half whilst Kid simultaneously hits Big Mom with another damned punk. Big Mom can't help but scream as she calls for help from Prometheus and Hera. Maybe she should have just kept Zeus, you know, I'm just saying. But no one is able to hear us since Law's silent room bubble is still in place. Even as she is falling down and reaches the armory basement, Yamato is surprised to see Big Mom and wonders why so much destruction didn't make any noise at all. But frustrated that nothing she touches makes a sound, Big Mom reaches over and punches straight through a bomb, setting off a big explosion in the armory. As Yamato is telling her stop or she will set off other bombs, the Kazembo fire demon starts to disappear from the steam the fire is producing when it comes into contact with Yamato's ice wall. You know, it's a bit of anime bullshit science here and there. If you guys want me to explain it, you know, I don't mind. I can do that. No! No! But Big Mom is then set tumbling down towards the ground. Yes, I'm talking about right towards the ground where, you know, the flower capital is. It's a big fall. And in this great fall, she curses Roger, thinking to herself that it's all his fault. But she states that if he didn't make that damn announcement where he said he left all his treasure in one place, because of his speech, it sent a bunch of brats out into the world looking for his treasure. And now the older generation of pirates like her and Kaido have to deal with it. But in the end, she can't help but think back to the One Piece. She's annoyed that Roger didn't at least tell her what it was, or if it's even real. She's upset that she doesn't even know where it is. Does Wano maybe have some sort of answers to the One Piece? She's beyond frustrated with all of these questions in her head, but no answer, and she likely won't ever get to know the answers to her countless questions. So with Big Mom falling from the skies, crashing into the ground, she curses Kid and Law. She'll never forgive them for what they did to her, and she isn't going to die from this simple attack. She can't, but in the end, she explodes into the ground, making a mushroom cloud bigger than Onigashima and the flower capital. It seems that some of the explosives in the armory also fell down with her. This defeat literally sorted out a couple of things, the Kazembo and the explosives in the armory. But now this perfectly brings us to the topic at hand, and a theory which I mentioned earlier about the Judas and the family of D. The thing is, Big Mom does have a point. Roger's final testament actually did make it a lot harder for Big Mom, and did kind of set a new trend of pirates searching for the One Piece. And so Big Mom has so many things to deal with because of these new pirates. She didn't have enough time to look into the One Piece after Roger's death. But as we all know, this was very intentional from Roger. He purposely pushed the new generation to seek the final island of Laugh Tale and find the One Piece. This was because of the information and prophecy he learnt of. Roger knew that the person who's supposed to fulfill Joyboy's promise and find Laugh Tale was going to be a person from the next generation. As we see in chapter 968, Roger puts 2 and 2 together after reading Joyboy's poneglyph and even overhearing the Sea King's prophecy along with Shirley's. Roger knew that they were too early. He figured from the Sea Kings that the awaited person will be born soon after, and Roger felt whoever it would be will eventually surpass him and his crew. He even joked saying it would be his son, but we all know how that turned out. Hey guys, put F in the chat for our brother Ace. Regardless, this awaited person the Sea King was referring to is actually an incarnation of Joyboy or his will, like that of the incarnation of Poseidon, where both of them were sovereigns in their own right. This idea is also backed by Kaido and King believing a new Joyboy will rise in this era. I did an extensive video explaining why Luffy has to be Joyboy, bringing all the evidence. I even debunked why Momonosuke can't be Joyboy with facts and solid information. If you guys want to know more about that, then check the video in the comment section down below. But one of the reasons was that Luffy was from the family of D and has a direct relation back to Joyboy, which brings us to the theory and importance of the will of D and who they were. Well, as we know from chapter 764, the people of D were those who challenged the gods, which in this world are the celestial dragons, though they have a negative outlook, obviously pushed by the celestial dragons themselves and of course the world government. But in reality, the clan of D are those who will bring the dawn of a new era. In chapter 763, Corazon revealed to Law that those with this initials in their name are from the fated family of D. However, the term family has a lot of meanings. In the world of One Piece, Luffy, Ace and Sabo are brothers, though they are not related by blood. Whitebeard was a father to his sons, and again they are not related by blood. I can go on forever. Even Luffy and his crew are sort of a family. So coming back to the family of D, I don't believe that they are actually a family related by blood. Rather, they were a crew with Joyboy being their captain. From this crew we had all sorts of people from different races, which explains how Jaguar D Soul obtained the D initial even though he is a giant. Likely his forefather 800 years ago was in Joyboy's crew. However, unfortunately, like some families and crew, there is always a chance where they have one black sheep, or in this case a Judas. Blackbeard is a representation of this. He is the Judas of the Whitebeard's crew. My theory is that in Joyboy's time, there was a member of his crew who betrayed him and became the reason why the Great Kingdom lost to the 20 allied kingdoms. But because of this, the promised meeting of Joyboy and Poseidon 800 years ago didn't take place, so the mission to unify all the races and the sea failed. I believe this traitor is Imusama. Yes guys, Imusama is living for so long because of the previous user of the Opi Opi no Mi, and Imusama has obtained immortality. In this chapter, it is revealed that Joyboy and Zunesha were close companions. However, looking at Zunisha's eyes and Imusama's eyes, we can find a connection. Imusama might have also been a close friend to Zunesha, and he could have tricked the poor gigantic elephant, which helped Imusama to turn the tides against Joyboy from within, using Zunesha as one of his means. So Zunesha's punishment might have been because he followed Imusama's plans, likely accidentally due to his naivety, because they were good friends. Either way, this caused the downfall of the ancient kingdom and the rise of the oppressive regime, where the 20 allied kingdoms were the winners, and then Imusama became the leader behind the scenes. Well guys, I have so much more to say. If you don't want to hear this theory in detail, then get this video over 10,000 likes and subscribe. Ding that notification bell so you don't miss out.
Anyways, coming back to the chapter though, as Big Mom falls to the ground, we then see the reaction of some of the characters who are getting destabilized due to the shockwaves the explosion has produced. We see Zoro falling down the island, even Brook and Robin can't stand up straight. And through this all, one man is still standing. As the smoke clears, we finally get a glimpse at the conclusion of the 5th Great Shinobi War. Raizo versus Fukurokoju has come to an end. Raizo, the Kage of the No Yu reverse card no jutsu, is of course the winner.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Who thought Fukurokoju was gonna win? Hello? Raizo, he got a better shadow paralysis jutsu than Shikamaru himself, bruh. Oh, also, Orochi, the Kage of the dumbasses, is also there on the ground where he deserves to be. He's just falling around, rolling around.
Stupid!
But coming to Big Mom, as she falls all the way down to the ground, and with her a freaking nuke drops as well. She screams that this isn't enough to kill her, but the panel that follows says otherwise. There's a giant explosion with massive clouds extending to the sky as if a freaking nuke has just gone down. Or maybe it could just be due to Big Mama falling down to the ground. It would probably create earthquakes and tsunamis. As the explosion is happening, Law creates an enormous room to make sure she can't make any noise, and also to shield the people of the flower capital from the explosion and its noise. This page also gives us the narrator's bubble stating that the victors are Kid and Law. They have gotten the victory royale against Big Mom, a freaking Yonko, and all the power scalers are crying in the corner, bitching about how, oh, they shouldn't be able to defeat Big Mom. She's no match for them. But I got one word for them.
Shut up, bitch!
We have seen how much damage Kaido and Big Mom have taken throughout this night. Big Mom from tanking hit from General Tanky against the 5 supernovas on the rooftop, exerting force against Ulti, a freaking Toby Ropo, then going after 2 S-class Awaken Devil Fruit users at the same time, and then getting blown up by a freaking nuke of a bomb, plus falling quite a distance from top of Onigashima to the ground. This fight was executed geniusly by Oda, where the new generation of Law and Kid didn't just get handed the win. They slowly took Big Mom's HP down throughout the fight. Although she still had stamina left while Kid and Law exerted everything, Law saved his techniques as a trump card to not let Big Mom cast any of her soul abilities by creating a silent room. They won not through power, but through technique and teamwork. The silent room is the biggest counter to Big Mom, as she can't use Hocus pocus. If Law had shown this card, then Big Mom, due to her decades of experience in battles, would have likely played the fight around that. But Law was patient and used this factor to get the W. Moving back to the chapter though, Law and Kid are battered. Their adrenaline has run out and they are on the ground exhausted. Both of their crews start cheering and circle around them to congratulate, but we have no time to waste as Onigashima is still about to fall on top of Wano. Momo screams at Yamato asking why there's a hole there in the basement, as he is scared something might have happened with the bombs which could destroy everyone. But Yamato calms him down saying that she froze the bomb, so only one of the bombs went off because of Big Mom. Momo can't talk as much right now though because he needs his full concentration to have Onigashima float in the case of Kaido's defeat. However, he does tell Yamato one thing: Zunesha is close to them now. Yamato quickly recognizes what he means through Oden's journal, but Momo sternly tells us that Zunisha is the one who committed a serious crime 800 years ago when he was Joyboy's companion. Now, I'm not going to go too balls deep into what Momonosuke is saying, as Yusuf already explained the Joyboy Judas theory we have, but make sure to get this video to 10,000 likes so we can expand further into this theory, as I think we have all the pieces and evidence to explain what actually went down with the Void Century, Imusama, and Joyboy. But while you guys wait, make sure to check out our What is One Piece theory, where we, alongside Arthur from Library of Ohara, figured it out. One Piece is basically 800-year-old sake. Yeah, it sounds ridiculous, so go watch it. We explain it, and it makes sense.